When an e-file gets rejected, your job isn't done. If you can't fix the reject reason, you must notify the taxpayer within 24 hours. And you can't just say it rejected. You must provide the IRS reject codes and explain what they mean in plain English. On the EA exam, they love this timing rule and the reject code plus explanation requirement. Deadlines for e-file are basically the same as paper file, but a rejection gives you a small window to still be treated as timely. That window is the transmission perfection period. During the perfection period, you have two options: correct the return and retransmit electronically, or switch to a paper return. Exam tip: perfection period questions often hide a penalty trap. Timely filing isn't the same as timely paying. Sometimes you can't realistically fix the rejection. The classic example is identity theft, like a dependent SSN already used, or the taxpayer's SSN already filed. In those cases, the taxpayer may be forced to paper file, and you'll often add identity theft documentation, like Form 14039, with the paper return. On the exam, if you see SSN already used, think paper filing plus identity theft steps. If you paper file after a rejection, the IRS wants a very specific paper package. Write in red at the top of page 1, rejected electronic return, date. Use the date of the first rejection. Include a copy of the rejection notice, a brief history of what you tried to do to fix it, and an explanation of why you're filing on paper after the due date. And the taxpayer must sign the paper return. An e-file pin doesn't count on paper. Here's the penalty trap. If you fix and retransmit within the perfection period, you can avoid a late filing penalty, but that does not automatically protect the taxpayer from a late payment penalty. If the return rejects on the due date, don't assume an e-payment with the return will go through. Payment still must be submitted or postmarked by the due date, even if the return is being perfected. One more exam-friendly detail. You don't always need new signatures or authorizations to retransmit a rejected individual return. The IRS allows retransmission without new authorization if the changes are tiny, within tolerance amounts. Think $50 tolerance for total income or AGI, and $14 tolerance for total tax, withholding, refund, or amount due. If changes exceed those tolerances, you're back to getting new authorization before retransmitting. When can a rejected individual e-filed return be retransmitted without new signatures or authorizations? Look for the option that uses IRS tolerance amounts, one threshold for total income or AGI, and a smaller threshold for total tax, withholding, refund, or amount due. Think about it. The correct answer is changes of no more than $50 to total income or AGI, and no more than $14 to total tax, withholding, refund, or amount you owe. That's the IRS tolerance rule for retransmitting without new authorization. Attempting wrong choice flips the numbers. 14 for income and 50 for tax, but the exam expects 50 for income, 14 for tax items. Ethan e-files on April 15th, but the return is rejected because someone already filed using his SSN, likely identity theft. He'll have to paper file. The IRS still treats his return as filed on time as long as he files it within what time period? Think about it. The correct answer is 5 calendar days. That's the transmission perfection period commonly tested for individual returns. 10 days sounds familiar because perfection periods are often discussed that way, but for this exam-style fact pattern, the IRS considers it timely if he paper files within 5 calendar days after the rejection.